Nothing's more satisfying than seeing these woke warriors so sure of their moral high ground get knocked off their high horse.
Well, Michael, do you know what the leading cause of death for pregnant people is?
Pregnant people? Mothers? Women?
If you'd like to call them mothers, not all of them are mothers, but if you'd like to call them that,
What are they if they're not mothers?
they're pregnant people.
They love to preach, thinking their opinions are untouchable. But today, you'll watch them eat their own words when they run into people who aren't interested in their self-serving lectures. Get ready to watch these arrogant heroes get the reality check they deserve.
Life begins when you understand living women matter more than potential babies.
What is it?
What do you mean?
If it's a potential baby, what is inside of a woman?
It's a fetus?
Is it living?
No.
How can it grow if it's not living?
Actually, that's like saying if an acorn is a tree.
When does the fetus become living?
That's actually a good question, but that line...
Yeah, of course, because you don't know it, because it's living. It's living. When does this clump of cells or fetus become living?
When it can sustain
Well,
its own life.
But when is the sustainability? How do you sustain life? Like, my newborns aren't sustainable. You can't just have a newborn and they just like live on their own, right?
Right.
A pro-choicer's woke argument get destroyed by common sense. Piers Morgan is known for his blunt opinions and fearless attitude.
That's where the whole debate goes rogue. You were born a biological male, you were born a biological female, Douglas biological male. This is just a fact, right?
No.
Once you start saying there are hundreds of genders and you can identify as anything you want, you're going to end up with kids at school going, I'm a horse, and you've got to treat me like a horse.
He also isn't afraid to call out woke nonsense and drop the truth bomb when needed.
What are you?
I'm a cisgendered man.
What does
that
cis mean?
So that means if you were, so you were born a woman, and therefore you still identify as a woman, so you're a cisgendered woman, I would say.
And that's because of my physical
That's because
femaleness.
you identify with how you were
What
born
am I?
originally. Well, I assume you're a cisgendered
I'm not a
man,
cis anything,
if
mate.
if I may assume.
I'm not a cis anything.
Well,
I'm just a man.
Well, no, but you're a cisgendered man.
No, I'm not a
because-
cisgendered anything.
But hang on.
What does
if-
cis mean?
Well, that means that you were born the way that you identify
No,
now.
I'm just born a man.
But someone who transitions
Why are
to
you
be a
insisting
man-
on calling me something I'm not?
Well, you can refer to yourself as just a man if you like, but
Most people identify as male or female, man or woman.
that's right, the vast majority of people. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other people who identify differently.
There are
lots
100
of
different
other
genders
identities.
on this BBC list, apparently.
This wokey gender expert just got destroyed.
I'm not triggered by a rainbow flag. I'm triggered by the fact that everywhere I go for a calendar month, everything has to be a rainbow flag. And
Well, I'm
Tommy's right.
triggered that everywhere I go for the entire year, everything has to be straight. Why is straight
Where's
everywhere?
my straight flag?
Why am I constantly
Where
getting
is
straight
my
people-
straight
Why are
flag?
straight people holding hands in
When
the
have
street?
you ever seen a straight flag?
Why has Mickey Mouse got a
Tell me
girlfriend?
one straight flag
Why are
hanging
you
right now
pushing-
anywhere in the world.
Why are straight people
Where
pushing
is the straight flag?
identity
Where's the
onto
straight
me?
flag?
Everywhere.
Where's my straight flag?
It's everywhere.
There's never been a straight flag.
If you don't agree with them, congratulations. You've just entered their cancel list.
Well,
If
hang
you'd
on.
like to be a woman, you can identify as a woman. I don't know why there is such an issue.
Anyone can, right?
I don't see a problem with
Just
someone
literally put their hand up
choosing
and say I'm a woman. Why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Well, firstly, I mean, it was.
I'm serious. I'm serious. If I can identify as anything without any need to prove I'm actually what that is,
I
why
think,
can't I on International Women's Day say I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian?
I think taking it to a kind of absurd
No, no.
status,
I think
we're
that's
talking
what.
about quite a
With
strong
respect, I
physical
think that
change.
you'd already opened the absurdity door by saying it is limitless. You can do what you like. Anyone can say I'm a woman. How many genders are there?
Two.
There are two genders. Wow. So you don't believe in transgenders at all?
Well, I think there are.
Whoa,
two
hang on.
different-
Whoa. There are two genders.
Well, it's taught in.
Well, you say, well, you've literally just launched this huge defense of transgenderism. Now you've eradicated it.
This woke feminist gets owned by her own logic.
Can you identify as a black person?
No,
Why?
because I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
If that's your goal, you know?
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's just not, that's like genetics. That's like ancestry.
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay, I'm over it.
They say trust science, but only when it supports their narrative.
Looks like he's having a nice feast.
She, her.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. Hi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir. Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Okay. The Sweetwater starts at okay. I'm so sorry. I apologize. It's just always like a knife. It always hurts every single time. I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something that happened. Yeah, I was called sir. Oh, okay. It just really sucks every time it happens. I don't need to be called ma'am. I just need to not be called sir, you know? Thank you. Did you call me sir? Hey, I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir. Called me sir.
Oh.
It's just like, it kind of just hurts a lot to get called sir.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
Very good. Thank you so much. No, yeah. Thank you. I'm not a sir. Nothing like a good misgendering. It is a knife in the gut when I get called sir. I feel like I need to tell him. I need to tell him that hurt. It hurts more though, and it's not intentional because it means like this is sir to him. I know you didn't mean it, but I'm not a sir. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I know you didn't mean it. It's just, you know, it hurts. I know when people clock me, it's fine, but like it does kind of hurt. Thank you. I'm not sir. Not sir. Not sir. But the guy who dropped the food off, he called me sir twice in a row. Oh, I didn't know that, and thank you, I appreciate that.
Woke culture, where every conversation is a contest.
Everybody's fancy, everybody's fine. Your body's fancy, and so is mine.
I have a friend who has a trans kid. He's explained that, you know, my child from a very young age consistently said, I am a girl, never changed their mind. And so the humane thing and the thing that he felt was going to do as a parent was to embrace that choice. I shouldn't even phrase it as a choice, like embrace that identity.
But it is a choice, right? You're choosing to add hormones to a child's body.
It's a choice blockers. it's a choice on the part of the parent.
Okay, but if that's who they are, if they think that they're a girl, why do you have to give them hormones to make them more of a girl?
Because I'm sorry, can you expand on the question?
It's a simple question. If the child thinks it's a girl, let it be a girl. Why are you adding hormones? You're choosing to inject things into this child's body on a regular basis that are going to radically affect the physical development of their body.
Yeah.
And you're saying that this isn't a choice. Well, it's definitely a choice to do that.
Joe Rogan stuns woke guest into silence with a simple question.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now, you can call yourself whatever you want.
Cis men don't menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary people.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive to cis women. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So explain to me as to why my body menstruated at
if
some
your
point
chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct, but what about trans men and non-binary? We're
not
excluding
men.
a whole group of people
They're women
that
dressed
menstruate.
as men.
Well, what's a man to you? You define a man for me.
You have chromosomes that are X and Y. That's what a man is.
So why are we just looking at the science of this as an example when we've learned sex and gender identity are they're completely different things.
They're not completely different.
They are
things.
completely different.
Completely different words.
This woke lady thinks men can menstruate, but here's a guy ready to crush that delusion with some hard facts.
I have noticed that most of the guests are mostly white males. Of 22 episodes that you've had.
Get into that.
No, but you
take a look over here, Peter. What do you see? A lot of whiteys. What's going on here? This really pisses me off. But go ahead. Really pisses me off. People think it's the census or something. I mean, this has got to represent the actual pie chart of America. Who cares? It's just funny. You know, funny is the world that I live in. You're funny, I'm interested. You're not funny, I'm not interested. Okay. And I have no interest in gender or race or anything like that, but everyone else is kind of with their little calculating, is this the exact right mix? You know, I think that's, to me, it's anti-comedy.
Jerry Seinfeld didn't just fire back. He exposed the hypocrisy of a system that forces creators to apologize for simply making art their own way. UFC President Dana White completely wipes the floor with this woke journalist.
Dana, I just want to go back. You were talking about, like, you obviously give a long leash to your fighters about, what they can say when they are up there with a UFC microphone, and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia. Like, is there...
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash?
I'm like...
Free speech. I control what people say. Gonna tell people what to believe. Gonna tell people... I don't fucking tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes on any of them. What is your question?
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want and they can believe whatever they want. And I don't think there's any... We had two gay women who fought in the co-main event. They sat on the stage with Sean Strickland. They could give a shit what Sean Strickland thinks, or what he says, or what his beliefs are, or what his opinions are. You know what I mean?
These woke individuals flip out after this guy drops some serious facts.
Statistically, it is true that Asians, right, on average, make more money, better test scores, get into better colleges, all that stuff. I think the question is, why is that? And I don't know, model minority, whatever that label wants to mean.
That's actually a myth because we cannot be...
Well, no, listen. Well, let me finish my point. We need to observe what makes people successful and unsuccessful. And I think when you look at trends that are generally true in the Asian community, not of everyone, but are generally true, usually you have families that are sticking together. You have people are taught to work hard in school, not get into trouble. I think that translates to why Asians en masse are successful. And I don't think you have to be Asian or white for that matter to not have kids out of wedlock, not, commit crime, not cause trouble or whatever it is. It's just a matter of common sense. That's what makes people successful. And if that's so-called assimilation, having a nuclear family, buying a house, going to school, whatever it is, then yeah, okay, call me a pro-assimilation then.
I think there's a difference between assimilation and erasure.
Yeah.
I like your cape.
Thank you. It's a flag.
What's the flag?
Soviet flag.
Oh my gosh. I take it back.
You claimed that the reason that there are more transgender people now is because they are more confused. The hate crimes against transgender people are much higher than those against any other demographic. So is it not more likely that there are more transgender people now because...
Are there more hate crimes in the United States against transgender people or Jews?
I guess transgender, but I am not sure.
You are certainly not sure. That's right. It's the answer is Jews.
That'd just be a numbers thing, though. Like if you're like,
it is a numbers thing, but you cited a numbers thing, so then I'm citing a different numbers thing.
0.1% of people in America are transgender, and yeah, 100% of them could be affected by crime.
Is it not, though, more likely that people are identifying as transgender now because of a decrease in the percentage of hate crimes as opposed to previous decades?
The identification is part of the confusion because a man isn't a woman and a woman isn't a man. There is sexual difference. The sexes are not indistinguishable, they're not indiscernible, and there's a great confusion in our culture that men can be women, but they can't.
They act like they're saving the world, but can't even save themselves from a basic Google search.
Are men and women equal?
I don't know at this point. Actually, women are better than men. What do men bring to the world? Literally nothing. Women, the vibes, just everything. Everything is brought to by women.
I completely disagree. You say that men bring nothing to the world. Everything you know and love. If you look around the entire infrastructure of our nation, our economy, every building you walk into, the camera that's filming you right now, the microphone you're speaking to, everything is built, maintained, and it's still maintained to this day through men, hardworking men.
I love how he's mansplaining this to me.
No, I'm serious that the way that you are portraying your ideas and opinions is through technology and infrastructure and an economy and a nation that was not only built, but it's still maintained to this day by men.
They always talk about progress, but refuse to progress past their own narrow views.
We do need men, though. We do.
We don't need them.
We do.
No, because they're lesbians.
Who do you call to get your car fixed? A man or a woman? Your toilet breaks down. Who do you call?
So I fix my own car. I can do. I'm motor mechanics.
Your power supply. Who runs it? Who runs the infrastructure of society? Men or women?
Oh, at the moment, men. Obviously,
yeah,
because of patriarchy. Because of patriarchy.
No.
They scream about equality, but somehow always end up making things more divisive. Once again, facts over feelings wins the day. If you want more of these moments where the truth wins over delusion, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to catch the next time we bring the heat.